ask for a referral at the point that you give any value to a client. Otherwise, you might miss your opportunity.
Hello, I've got John Dougan with me again. Welcome back, John.
Thank you, John.
Hey, John, last time we discussed reciprocity as a strategy in sales, and during that discussion you briefly mentioned referrals, and that's something reciprocity can drive, is a desire by the customer to give you referrals. But let's talk referrals more. I'd like to understand some of the strategies you deploy and recommend to others to deploy to maximise the number of referrals you get.
Yeah, I think the first strategy when we ask for a referral is knowing when to actually ask for a referral. We have this theory in sales that the moment we can ask for referrals when the client is signed on the dotted line, and that couldn't be further from the truth. The moment you have provided value to a customer, you are at liberty to ask for a referral.
And by providing value, you mean after you've delivered what you promised you were going to deliver?
Yes, what you've delivered, but John, there are elements before that in conversations where you might create or provide value that they hadn't previously thought of. So at that stage, if there's anybody else that they feel should benefit from that, it's worthwhile having the conversation. But I'm not saying have the conversation like that. Again, a common misinterpretation is, oh, you've signed the dotted line or I've created some value. Who do you know that I should be speaking to? Well, that's not a strategy. That's a question.
Okay, so the timing is the first step.
Definitely.
Get the timing right, and it's after, again, reciprocity, after you feel that they should be in a position of wanting to give back.
Yep. The second one is, who do I want a referral to? It's understanding what customers that person might know that you actually could do business with. So rather than, for example, saying, oh, well, who do you know that I should be speaking to? Ask them this question. How can I make it easier for you to refer me to that specific person? Because I know they would find value in X, Y, and Z.
Okay, so you've done your research ahead of time. You know who your target customers are. You know that they already have some sort of relationship there.
Yep.
And you're asking for them to tie that together.
Not only that, you're using a wonderful referral strategy. The great thing about, probably the worst thing actually about referrals, if I flip it on its head, is we ask for referrals based on what work our customer has to do to get us that referral. I'm telling you not to do that, John. I'm telling you to have control and say, how do I make it easier for you, Mr. Customer, to refer me?
Great point. I get the guts of that, and I think it's very, very important. You know, the other thing is you may not know who they know, even if you've done research. I don't think it's a good idea. They just say, who do you know? One of the recommendations I make to people is to have a very clear definition of who a target client looks like, and say, do you know anybody who in an organisation who has these characteristics and these sort of issues and challenges and so on, rather than say, do you know anybody that knows that might need our product or service?
Well, there's another opportunity in that, John, in that you can review the steps that you've taken with your current customer. As a direct result of that, you can actually create a battle card of what that process looked like and where you added specific value. Mm-hmm. When you're doing that review with your customer, why not turn around and say, listen, we provided this value there. I know that you deal with these third-party resellers. I know that you have these clients. Is there anybody there where I can make it easier for you to refer me into?
I think that's a brilliant approach to getting a referral. And a referral is really something that's of high value, and the customer understands when they give you a referral, it is good value to you. So it is reciprocity in the way they do it. And you're just saying, I'm going to make it easy for you.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to make it your job. It's still my job. I'm just going to make it easy for you to help me.
Well, that's the perfect reciprocity, isn't it? How do I make it easier for you to make it easier for me to sell to somebody else? And, you know, depending on whose research you read, and I read an awful lot, in fact, probably all of them, you know, referrals are up to 9 times more likely to close. Oh,
it's absolutely the way to go, isn't it?
Without a shadow of doubt.
So give me a bottom line on this. Referrals is the way to go because it's many more times you get the results versus cold calls or trying to get in the door yourself. But the bottom line for referrals and how to do it successfully is?
How to get successful referrals is very simple. Become the trusted advisor. And John, when I say that, I mean give value at every interaction where you might ask for a referral. If it's reviewing a client, the approach that you took to win a client, don't be afraid to review that process so that the client gets absolute benefit in understanding that. Ask for a referral at the point that you give any value to a client. Otherwise, you might miss your opportunity.
Great advice, John. Thank you very much and good referring.
Thank you.